Hello, hello, hello. Well, it has been a hot minute since I last connected with you. Welcome to the Be Well and Be You podcast, where I discuss everything to do with your health, your well being, and ultimately how to live your most vibrant life. And just a little information for you in case you were wondering what happened to this podcast. Where did you go? Well, as part of my vibrant living, I decided to pull back from technology for a while and just give my whole system a bit of a reset. And you may feel that way at different times in your life as well, where you kind of need to just change everything, switch gears, and do something different. And I have been immersing myself in reading actual novels, which I haven't done in years. And this has been truly thrilling. I'm almost never drawn to watch Netflix because I am finding just the imagination and the creativity and everything that I'm finding in the novels has been so rewarding for me. And there's this little library up at the park near us. It's just one of those little tiny libraries, a little stand that's there for the community to borrow and return and donate books to. So this has been a lovely find for me and has been a beautiful sort of breath of fresh air for me to change gears and do something totally out of the ordinary for me. I constantly read books, but not generally just specifically for pleasure. They always have a reason attached to them, whether I'm learning something in business or I'm learning something spiritually or I'm learning something about, personal development. These are the kinds of books that I'm usually reading. So this has been lovely. I have found that I was in a season where I was constantly posting and looking at the algorithm and trying to figure out what was the best way to do things and how to post and how much to post and blah, blah, blah. And if you've ever been there, you know the pain, the frustration with this. And I kind of got to a point where I was being super consistent. I was enjoying the content that I was creating. And yet I wasn't super duper present to my life. Everything was sort of seen as a moment to capture and show my audience. And I got to a point where I thought, I just want to kind of keep this to myself for a little while. I just want a time where I can just be present, be in the moment, and not be thinking about what I might post next. So it's been quite lovely. And about a month ago, I put out a newsletter, which I hadn't done in about 6 months, and that felt good. And we're about a month later, and I thought, I'm going to put out a newsletter again today. And I'm also going to record a podcast. And right now, I will not be in a particular rhythm of weekly podcasts. I'm going to put out podcasts when I feel inspired. This feels good for me in this season of time. I may come to a point where I will be more regular and consistent again. So stay tuned. We'll see. And we're just going to go with the flow. And I'm really learning to pay attention to my body's signals. I'm learning to pay attention to the rhythms that feel good for me. And yes, I want to be committed. And yes, I want to pursue things. And yes, I do appreciate deadlines and things like this. I just needed a bit of a window of time where I wasn't attached to all of that. So it's been good. It's been a good season, and I'm starting to feel the wiggle and the desire to come back to a bit more of that content creation. So today I was inspired by watching a video on vibration. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that in a moment. And I have titled today's podcast, Stop, Drop, and Roll. And we're going to get into a little more detail as to what this is all about. But if you remember from your childhood, from those days of being in school, when the firefighters would come to the school and they would teach you about stop, drop, and roll. If there's ever a situation where your clothing catches on fire or you're near a fire and there's sparks that, come to you, you stop whatever you're doing, you drop, and you roll to smother the flames, to shut out the oxygen. And so I wanted to use this as a bit of a prompt for each one of us and for myself. I always teach lessons to you guys because they're coming from lessons that I have learned myself. And oftentimes when I'm giving you lessons, it's because I'm in the middle of learning these things myself. So I never stand here as somebody who's got it all figured out. And, I'm just already enlightened and easy peasy life is for me. That is not the case. And so today comes to you from a season of my life where I have been really learning this, and I'm still learning this. And we look at this season that we're in, and I'm recording this at the end of November 2024, and it feels like Christmas is already upon us. When I was a kid, I don't remember anything to do with Christmas until it became December. And nowadays, it feels like Christmas begins literally the day after Halloween. In fact, Costco and many other stores are displaying all of their items prior to even October. So it seems like Christmas is starting earlier and earlier and earlier in the year. Suffice it to say, we are in a season right now where there is an increase of busyness, an increase of perhaps worry, worry about, can I afford all the festivities and the gifts? Can I afford the time it's going to require me to attend all of these things? There might be family drama that you're thinking about. Do I really want to see that person at all these different events? There may be just that endless array of events, kids' performances, Christmas gatherings, celebrations, all, right? And so it can feel like a lot, and it can feel overwhelming at times, and it can feel like, brace yourself. And you might have a heightened sense of anticipation, even of all the things that are to come. It's kind of like we're in this chronic sense of what's coming, what's coming, what's coming. Now, some of these feelings are in our subconscious mind, and some of these are really front and center. And that's like they're totally rudely interrupting the feeling of homeostasis that you might have had prior to going into the season. So wherever your feelings are at during the season, I want to let you know that there's a really simple thing that you can do to step outside of that sense of overwhelm and actually create more of a sense of flow. Now, this is something that I've become really keenly aware of is this moving and flowing versus kind of rigidly moving throughout things. Because often what happens is we carry so much of our stress in our bodies. We carry, overwhelm. It might be resting in your head. You might deal with headaches or neck aches or low back pain. Low back pain is often a sign of instability and often particularly financial struggles and wrestles. So your body is constantly taking in from our thoughts, from our feelings, and it's actually holding things there. So one of the best things that we can do is to move our body, to actually get into momentum, get into motion. So here's what you're going to do. First thing you want to do is stop. So stop whatever it is that you are doing. So if you're driving, of course, don't stop while you're driving, but pull over when you can and just stop. If you're at work, stop. If you're in the middle of a conversation, you realize it's totally getting out of control and your whole body's getting tense and you're in major defensive mode, stop what you're doing. Wherever you're at, stop. Then you're going to drop all the thoughts that are swirling around in your mind, all the things that have been building and building and building, and the confusion or the frustration or the disappointment or the total overwhelm. I want you to just drop those and just park them for a moment, right? You can let your body know it's okay, I'll come back to you. You'll welcome that in at another time, but you're going to drop them for now. And then here's where the role comes in. I want you to, whenever this is happening, I want you to notice where your body is constricting. So it might be your neck, could be your shoulders, could be your hips, could be your arms. And I want you to just start moving. Just start with your arms and your shoulders. Like if you're sitting at your computer and you're just kind of, or maybe you're, in your car, just start moving your shoulders, move your arms. If you need to kind of remain private because you're in a public setting, even just wiggle your fingers or wiggle your toes, or kind of, you could even just kind of bounce your knees a little if you're standing, and maybe you're at a bus stop and you're just in amongst a whole group of people. Just kind of start moving as though you're just either rocking a baby or you're kind of listening to your tunes and you're just kind of moving, just even gentle. This is going to start to help get things flowing. Now, if you are on your own, or if you can head to a washroom where you can be private, get your body into full motion. Absolutely moving. I'm doing it as I'm talking to you right now. I'm moving from side to side. I'm going to wiggle my arms, shake, 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 move my head and neck from side to side. I've got a little stiffness myself because I have been feeling some things and they get lodged into my body. So I've been doing this a whole lot more, just moving, 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 getting that flow, twisting your whole spine, just twist, twist, twist. Okay. So any amount of movement that you can do is going to help to shift your energy. And I'm telling you, this will help to shift your energy instantaneously. Now, if you can start jumping, if you have a little mini trampoline or rebounder at home, this is a perfect time for you to get onto the rebounder and start bouncing. This gets your lymph system in motion and it helps your whole body to feel better. And when your whole body feels better and you're reducing your stress, it's going to affect your thoughts. So this is why we want to drop those thoughts for a moment, because we need to shift into our body, get that breath in our body, get the movement in our body, and our thoughts will actually begin to be impacted by what's going on in our body, because everything is so interconnected. It's all going to impact one another. So I want to explain to you why this works in a really easy way for you to visualize what's happening within your body. So, think of a singing bowl. So if you've ever seen them, they're typically glass, or sometimes they have some beautiful brass, and they're just a beautiful rounded shape. And then you use a mallet. Sometimes it's a rubber mallet, sometimes it's a wooden mallet, and you gently bang the side of the bowl and it reverberates with this gorgeous, luscious sound. Now, if you've not yet been to a sound bath is where you would go to a space where they would have a number of singing bowls and then they would play them, and you would just lay there on a yoga mat and you just absorb the sound. And it is the most incredible experience. So if you have not experienced this yet, I highly recommend find a location where you can be a part of this. What happens with the singing bowl is that the bowl begins to vibrate. It has this incredible vibration that happens. Think of like a frog's throat as it's singing. There's this reverberation that happens. So it's a similar thing with the sound bowl. Now, that bowl will continue to ring for a period of time, especially if you hit it at just the right sweet spot. It'll just woo. It'll just have this beautiful sound that will come out. And depending on the shape of the bowl and the size of the bowl, you can actually get different notes. Like you can have C and D, and it's amazing all the different sounds that you can get. What happens is, as it's in that vibration, as it's singing and vibrating, If you pinch the top of the bowl with your index and thumb finger, you will literally stop immediately the vibration and the sound. So you imagine this beautiful full sound, and then it's done. It's complete. It completely stops. Well, it's very similar to what happens with our bodies. When our bodies are loose, the vibration of our bodies flows freely and easily. When we begin to tense up, we tense our muscles, we tense our shoulders, we tense our neck. I can feel it right now because this is just where I'm at right now. It literally stops the flow. It stops that vibration. And we are vibrational beings. Einstein talked about this. Many, scholars have talked about the fact that we are energetic beings. There is a frequency of vibration. You think about a radio signal passes through at a certain frequency. So everything in our world operates from this. This is scientific. Well, our bodies and our minds are inextricably connected. And when our thinking gets to be stressed out and overwhelmed, our bodies take that on, they tighten up, and we begin to feel pain. And the energy isn't freely flowing anymore. It gets completely stuck in whatever that spot is. So when we move our bodies, we open up the spaces and we allow the energy to flow unimpeded. And this will then, of course, as I was saying, it will actually impact our thinking and our thoughts. Because when you're like, oh, that hurts. Oh, I feel that. Oh, I'm stiff. All of a sudden, our thoughts begin to go to that place, and we begin to think more about how stressed out we are, and more about how, oh, if only I could just relax, or if only I had a moment, or if only. So all of these things then all intertwined together cause us to have stuck energy. So your big key through this season is to stop whatever it is you're doing. As soon as you're conscious that, oh, and my mind's starting to spiral, I got to stop what I'm doing, put it all down. I'm going to park the thoughts at the door for it now. I'm going to drop the thoughts. So I'm going to stop what I'm doing. I'm going to drop the thoughts, and I'm going to roll. I'm going to roll my shoulders. I'm going to roll my wrists and my ankles, and I'm just going to start to move. And if you can turn on the music and put on some Taylor Swift and listen to Shake It Up, or put on some disco music, or whatever it is that, lights you up, crank it up and get your body into dance, get your body into movement, or get your body on the floor doing yoga, or even just start breathing. Breathe in, deep breaths, and breathing out. Okay. So all of these things are going to help to support how your body is feeling, to support that flow of energy. It's going to all help your nervous system, your vagus nerve, your vagal tone will be enhanced. Oh my goodness, there are so many things that happen at this incredible ripple effect. So that's my tip for you today. I totally want to continue doing this and practicing this myself. And if this has been helpful for you, I do appreciate any reflection on how this has worked for you. So try it out and then shoot me a message and let me know how it works for you. You can message me at info@kimberlychalmers.com. Make sure that in the spelling of my first name, you've got the L-E-Y there. And you can also message me where you find me on social media as well. Now, I did want to let you know that I do have some coaching sessions available and some energy healing sessions available for you. So send me an email and I will send you links for your booking. I do energy healing either one-on-one in person or on Zoom. And I've been having some really lovely experiences with people and their dogs, which has been so fun. Dogs are so great. There's no placebo with dogs. It either works or it doesn't work. And let me tell you how exciting and thrilling it is to work on healing a dog, and all of a sudden up they run. So that's pretty fun. So if you were looking for some energetic shifts, you're looking for maybe some healing in your body, or you're not even really sure, but you just would like to try some energy healing, I am offering these for free through to the end of the year. So do send me a message and we can book our one-on-one time together. I am also continuing to offer coaching. So if that is something of value to you and you're looking at how can you be more strategic with your life, or how can you have somebody who can, help give you that oomph to move forward, or you're really wrestling with some of the things that are going on and not sure how to work through them, that's where we can work together. And I would love to support you in that way. So feel free to send me an email and then we can get you set up with appointments for that. Also, too, if you are looking for a community of people who desire to live their most vibrant lives and who want to do this together. We don't want to be the solo show anymore. We don't want to try to figure it all out on our own. We want to do this together. We have the Uplifted Collective group, and you can go to upliftedcollective.co. And from there, you can sign up and you can pay either monthly or you can pay annually. We've had a beautiful group this year. We have weekly Zoom sessions. We have retreats that we've had this year. And we have dinners that we have together every once in a while for those who live local. And we also have our own app where we can connect on a daily basis, on a regular basis. So lots of ways to stay connected. And as we continue to move through the season, if you are looking for some extra supports, then do reach out. Again, it's info@kimberlychalmers.com. And from there, I'll be able to respond to you with whatever it is that you're looking for. Okay, as always, be well and be you. Thanks so much.